Thaly, remember, I'm Keith Lemons. We met last year at the NCRF Foundation.
Absolutely.
And the funny thing was that you were just becoming president, or CEO, as I was becoming president. So neither one of us had a clue what was coming, did we?
That's correct. That's right.
And so I want you to know that since I'm not a lawyer, I really don't know how to ask questions and answer them. I just usually take them down. So just a friendly chat between us, and remember, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. So Thaly, what I'd like to know is, in this past year, well, I want to go a little bit back before that. What led you to be involved with court reporting in general?
Well, it's a good story. My background has always been in heavy manufacturing, steel and forgings and such. And I happen to be part of HICO, which is the parent company of Stenograph. And I was working for them for about a year, and then the Stenograph opportunity came up. And in our professions, it's the goal is to really help the business be at its best. And I came in knowing nothing about the court reporting industry. And in the last 12 or 14 months or so, I feel like I've learned a lot. And I've also really gained a deep admiration for what stenographers do. Mm-hmm. In the course of this 14 months, and it's fascinating. It's I feel like it's a tough profession, and just doing what they're doing, and amidst all the chaos, and taking the record, which is the most important part. And I'm honored to help an organization that provides the technology that's going to help the stenographers.
So when you first came into this, you had actually pretty much no information on how court reporting worked when you first started this?
I did not know this industry existed.
Wow, so that's pretty good.
Yeah,
so you learned a lot in the last 12 months, 14
absolutely.
months.
Still learning a lot. I still learn every day, but it's been fun.
And would I be correct in assuming that you just basically applied general business principles to how you associated with Stenograph and learned how court reporting works?
Yeah, absolutely. It's you always look at a business, and you want to focus on what the company, what it does well as a group, mm-hmm. right? And so when you look back at Stenograph, you can't help but admire the legacy that it has had with 85 years of being right there in every major step of innovation, and making quality products that our stenographers come to depend on. And as much as I don't like it, some of them are even on our 4 generations back writers. Yes. Right, so in a way, it's a lot of pride for me to have this opportunity to be part of this group.
Yeah, that upgrading thing, I've spent my whole career basically doing seminars about how you really need to upgrade with the times, and there were people that I was talking to a few years back that were still working on their OzPC, which, if you don't remember, this was actually a different company, but it was at least 6 generations earlier.
Oh, wow.
And so for some reason, people in our profession seem to think that we don't need to be technically accurate. Now, as far as Stenograph goes, do you make sure that you're looking back and being able to incorporate that technology so that if somebody comes into Stenograph, that they're still able to use it and figure out how to move forward?
Absolutely. One of the things that we heavily focus on is to, and I think it goes to the core value of Stenograph, is we are truly in the business of making our customers' lives better. Whether you
right.
are a real-time, a high-profile writer, or whether you're just starting out. Both ends are equally important, and we're constantly focusing on ways to make that transition easier, make the entry easier, make the make the software and our writers work on both ends of the spectrum.
So you've had now 14 months to create your management team. How successful are you at that? Do you think that it's still evolving, or do you think you have a really good management team in place now?
You know, Keith, truth be told, Stenograph has always had a great team. And if you look at our profile in the last 14 months, I haven't really brought on anybody new. And we've just had a fantastic team. And I really mean it. And I'm not saying it just for the sake of saying it. So we are focusing on the basics, and really our focus is, you know, we want to stay focused on this whole mission, right? This is one mission. How do we make our customers' lives better? And
Good.
That's
And
where we are. So.
I think that people in the court reporting industry can see that it has been kind of a flip from what was coming from the previous CEO. And I'm not going to say any more about that other than to say that we appreciate so much the job that Stenograph is doing, making sure that the customers are actually being considered as what your core policy is. So I would like you to describe your style of leadership. How do you manage that with Stenograph and also with working with the customers?
I don't know if I have a definite style. I'm usually pretty open and transparent, and I like to think of myself as real and grounded, and really stay focused on, you know, adding value. That's sort of outside of work. That's both, you know, on my personal life as well. My mission is to see if I can help better people's lives. Dave touched upon it this morning, and it really resonates with me, right? So I try to look at it as, what can I do in my work life to add any value that I can to the society, to, you know, whether it's to Stenograph or the court reporting industry, HICO, and that sort of really guides a lot of my style.
So, you know, NCRA and Stenograph have a long history of supporting one another in whatever endeavors we're looking at. What ways do you look at partnering with us, and what ways should we look at partnering with you to move forward in this era of AI trying to take over everything? How do you see us fitting in together?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Keith, and we ponder on this a lot in terms of the two important facets, right? So NCRA, you know, the group and how it's organized and what you guys do, that is so critical to developing and growing this industry. All I think about when, you know, and I'll come to the AI part in a little bit here, is how do we grow this profession? How do we bring more people, more students, more people into this profession? And it's a fantastic profession. It's needed. Our legal cases are growing by the day, and you know, we have a working blueprint. It's a great profession. How do we improve this? So that's really where I feel like, while from a Stenograph standpoint, we focus on technology. Our way to add value is, number one, to make sure that we are getting the products up to speed and in line with the latest technologies. That will help a court reporter or a stenographer be at their best. Now, as you know, we also wholeheartedly support institutions like yourself and anyone else that's really helping this industry grow. The way we see adding value is by supporting you, so you do what you do best, and we're right there by you in helping and supporting, while, you know, we stay focused on getting the technology development and getting the next set of products.
So I'm going to kind of switch links, just gears just a little bit. We're talking about AI. Now, for some reason, all court reporters, I would say all court reporters, most court reporters think that AI is the boogeyman in the room. But there are so many things that AI can help us with in production of our transcripts without taking over from us as being the human-centric part of court reporting. How do you envision Stenograph helping with that?
Yeah, absolutely, Keith. And I want to start off by really saying, maybe more my personal view. I feel like there is always going to be a human court reporter present in a deposition, right? So the way Stenograph and we look at this is look at AI specifically, right? Is how, in a lot of ways, and you touched upon it, Keith, most stenographers, from what we hear, and this is not my opinion, this is what we really hear from the floor, they use AI to help with research and making them more productive. So the value add from a stenographer is when they are at a deposition, they're taking more depositions, they're getting out the transcripts, right? Mm-hmm. So anything in between, that is the gold standard. We cannot get, a human to or AI to do what they do in creating the record. But I feel like we can use AI to help them once they get the deposition or a trial or a hearing or a proceeding. How do we enable a stenographer to quickly get out a transcript so they can go move on to the next one? How do we enable them where their accuracy is better? The misstrokes are lower. What can we do both from a writer technology and from a AI technology that's watching and saying, okay, hey, you always do this way. Did you mean this? Or give me permission to correct it on your own. So we still want the stenographer to be in full control.
So, for example, if you wrote, because you're taking a family matter, that this functional family was occupying this home, instead of saying this dysfunctional family was occupying this
exactly.
home. AI should be able to help you understand the context. Is that what you're hoping? Is that what you're
yeah,
saying?
And we want to leave the choice up to the stenographers. They know their job the best. What we want to do is give them all options. You want to use it for context? Great, we'll give you a suggestion. You want to go look up a proper noun or a street address or whatnot, and we don't want you to stop and go to a Claude or ChatGPT or anything like that. We're working on things where you can see that right in your script, right in your cascade. So now it's all about how do we get more efficient? How do we get more precise? And yet still give the stenographer complete control over what they put out at the end of the day.
So what would you see as the biggest issue facing court reporting as a profession at this point, other than AI? What would you say?
Frankly, I don't actually see AI as a threat at all. But to answer your question, I think we got to grow. We got to get more students into this profession. We got to get the graduation rates up. And really we got, that's the biggest opportunity. And I know I've shared this with you before, and mm-hmm. I share it with all of the leaders. Anybody that is helping with that, and we love that. We have a lot of respect for the bodies like NCRA and other members that do that kind of work, and we want to support them. So I feel like that is the threat's not outside, the threat's yes. inside.
And so would you, like I always say, partnering with, but be willing to work with NCRA and other places to help us with legislation issues and things like that come up, so that we can have a common ground to go to our legislators with?
Yeah, so Keith,
I know it's difficult because you don't want...
It is, and not because... I want to be careful how I say this here, right? My value add going back to
Yes.
how we see ourselves contribute. I don't know legislations. Frankly, I don't spend my time there. I am spending time on, when I say me, Stenograph, we are so focused on getting what we can do. We know technology. We can
Right.
enable it. We can leverage it. And we want to be cognizant of what's happening, and we want to support the efforts from any bodies. But frankly, I don't follow a lot of news, and we'll be happy to support.
That's
growth.
kind of like what I was thinking of is that if we have technical issues that we need to have some support for, to say this is how it's done.
Absolutely,
you would be there to help.
absolutely, 100%, 100%. We'll be happy to do that.
Well, I have enjoyed this conversation, and I think that in the last year or so you have grown more for Stenograph than I have seen in the last 25 years. So I really want to congratulate you on that, and anything that we can do to help you and you can do to help us, please know that our door is always open. I want to thank you, Thaly.
Thank you so much, Keith. Thank you for your leadership, and thank you for the kind words. And I want to reiterate that Stenograph is committed to this industry, and I am personally committed to doing everything I can to support and grow this industry. So
thank
excited
you.
and looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.